Okay, so again, we've trimmed that, got a rounded board there. We've got the file cabinet up in place. I have this just as a temporary beam to hold the file cabinet square against the wall at the proper spot. That way I can figure out what the proper distance is down to this. Granted, this has some flex to it, so I'll load this with a little bit of extra load so that it's flexed down, so that these beams down here are actually helping support this, because this only has the 1L, okay? And you can see, where's that here? There's a gap there. However, that's fine that there's a gap there because I can fix it two ways. One, I can put a spacer down here, because this is only held on by one bolt right now, so I can put a spacer down here which fixes that gap. But two, the gap doesn't really matter because the weight of the file cabinet is back here on this, as long as the top of the file cabinet is held against that wall. So like you could get rid of 99% of the shelf, and as long as you hold that file cabinet to the top of the wall and hold it against the wall down here, then it doesn't need this whole plank. The plank is just extra. But it'd be nice to have the plank be square with the file cabinet, so why not, right? So anyhow, so that's why I've created this, just to hold this up for a second, to figure out what the proper distances are to get everything square with the file cabinet with the wall. And luckily it looks pretty good. So let's go back to, let's see here something. Give me a second. Okay, so that looks pretty nice and level there. Like it doesn't look like it's out of ordinary, okay? And then back here, let's go check on these gas tank ideas. So right now, I have the file cabinet slid backward a little bit, which it doesn't need to be. It could be brought back forward because this, yep, see, it could be brought back. This is gonna be like the perfect distance when you put, anyhow. I don't need to bring it back, but I'm thinking about it. So the reason why I put it where it is right now is because that lines up with keeping the top square. But I don't have to keep the top square. Let me show you what I mean. I can take this and clock it ever so slightly like that. Okay, it's not a big deal. It'll still support a shelf just fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put, what do you call it, some spacers here, so that the shelf that we sit on top is exactly flush with the top of the file cabinet, okay? And then on this side of the shelf, right here, you put a little nub down that holds it in place. And again, all you gotta do is run one vertical down to keep this down here tight against this shelf up here. And it could be a piece of L-beam metal, whatever. You have one thing that goes from top to bottom that keeps them conjoined, and that's it. So anyhow, so just soaking it all in, looking at it and soaking it in. I'll tell you what, this handle right here is the handiest fucking thing. I put this in for an exercise handle, but it's been the most handy thing to get in and out of this back here. But I do these exercises where I do step ups and step downs. And anyhow, I'm really liking this idea now. And then I just got to figure out this plank idea here, and this, if I end up putting a hinge over here. So let's do this. I haven't looked at this yet. Go ahead and open up the file cabinet, and